Hey Clashers, we just had the update which broke Clash of Clans. And no, I'm not talking about all of those different bugs which are flying around, and I'm not talking about like balance-wise or anything. I'm talking about the two changes they did to the loot system. The first change, which was more like the cherry on the top, was the changes to the league bonus, and that was Dark Elixir. From Silver all the way up to Titan, they've increased the Dark Elixir you would get with every single attack, which is quite nice. But the main thing is this one. Take a look at this. This is just crazy. Getting over 3 million Elixir, over 3 million gold, and you can possibly as well get over 20,000 Dark Elixir. That loot is just insane. It is just crazy, and that is just caused by one big change. And we're as well talking about how this is going to affect Legend. But let's take a look at the change. The change was how much loot you can get out of storages. Because first off, you could get for a town of 16, for example, if you're like attacking max town of 16 and their storages are max, you could get 700,000 out of those storages. And no, I'm not talking about every single one storage, I'm talking about all 4 storages combined for gold and elixir, for example. That is not much. 700,000, considering that you're attacking the max town hall, that is not much whatsoever. And this was now increased. Instead of being able to get 700,000, you are able to get more than 1.6 million. That is just an insane change. And this is resulting currently in pretty much every single click you're doing in loots, which is over 1 billion, which is crazy. And you can farm now so quick and so efficiently, especially with those magic snacks, which I have to say, the donating to yourself one has to be one of my favorites. But out of those things said, there is one league which is left out of this fun whatsoever, and that is Legend League. Yep, that's right, there were no changes to Legend League. And the main reason for that is because the loot in Legend is generated by the system, because you cannot lose any loot in Legends. Instead, the system is generating the loot and is then giving it to you. And that's the different thing in Legend. This is why they have not changed it over there. And on top, the reason why they have not changed it is because so far, before the changes, before the update, Legend League was the league with the best loot on average, because it was pretty much always the same depending on your standing within Legends, because if you're really low, you're attacking more town of 14s, and the generated loot is always based on the progression of the other village. So attacking a lower town level means you get less loot. But if you're a little bit higher, let's say like 5,300 points in like trophies on Legend, you're most likely to only face solid upgraded town of 16s, which give you a decent amount of loot. But, well, with now having every second click something like this, question is now, is the average loot now way better in Titans, in Fake Legends, in Champion, in whatever other league there is? And that's as well like the response then of Supercell, where they have not changed anything in the first place because the loot in Legend was so much better. But they're now as well monitoring the situation, taking a look at the numbers of the average loot as well in the lower leagues, and then deciding if they're adjusting the Legends League loot. So that's like the current position we're living in. Just so you're aware, nothing is final. Supercell will see if there is major changes in like what the average loot says, and then we might get more changes or not, depending on whatever is going to be the case. But that's the current system, or like the current situation when talking about loot in general and Legends. And that's kind of crazy, to be honest, how much loot you can now generate. And I have to say, I'm farming a lot, and you will see in just a second what my current stand on the free-to-play account is. But something else which was added with the update were loot boxes. And those, were kind of buggy. I mean, Supercell still shared like a link for 5 loot boxes. If you have not claimed that just yet, you can do that down below in the description, where you can open them and get already some nice loot. But this has caused so many issues that they had to delay the treasure hunt event, because for some people it crashed their the games with their open chest. For some of the people, the magic items are completely bugged, and everything is, to be honest, kind of as expected when you're adding a completely new feature to a 12-year-old game. So, I mean, nothing crazy there. Now, it really hopes now that Supercell is getting things fixed. But I would say, let's just open those 5 chests which I've got on my free-to-play account, because there's one big goal I have. I want to get an equipment, and especially the spiky ball equipment. So we need a legendary chest. So, I mean, okay, the first 2 chests are not the greatest. let's face it, okay? But that's how loot boxes are, right? Like, they're playing with your feelings. On the other side, though, glowy ore, I take that any day of the week. So the next box then is... Wait a second. Wait a second. Are we getting lucky here with getting the spiky ball? That's really what we want, okay? The spiky ball or the rocket spear is fine as well. But I need one of those equipments. Everything else in the legendary tier is, in my opinion, not good. And we're getting the worst item out of this stupid box. How is that even... Why are runes even in legendary tier? They're so useless. I have just talked now for like, what was it, like 5 minutes or something, about how broken the current loot system is, and they're giving me in the legendary chest a freaking rune? Really? I mean, the one thing we're getting is like 50 gems, right? Like, we can farm this in like a couple of minutes. I would just take the 50 gems any day of the week over like farming for like 10 minutes. Like, what is this? I think they're the most, like, runes are currently the most overrated items with those changes there are in Clash of Clans, and overpriced. So never buy them in the shop. Don't do it. Just don't do it. What I'm currently doing though is getting the next upgrades, because we have just reached town 13. My, for now, final destination when it comes down to rushing my town level. Because this means we have all 4 heroes, and at this point I can just keep all of them non-stop upgraded. Because farming now should be somewhat easier, especially Dark Elixir should be now way easier to get. But let's first off just deploy everything we have, what we can deploy to pretty much, like traps and everything. And then we can as well make sure that we're getting good use of my builder potions. Because I've already showed you in the beginning, we have just completed, as most people out there obviously, the Clan War League, which means we have a lot of league medals. And in the beginning, like in those, like town 1 to town level 13, even like a little bit 14, you should 100% invest your league medals into builder potions. They're like one of the best things you can go for value-wise. And this is exactly what we're going to do. And with that, we're trying to rush those heroes a little bit further. Currently, I have my hero boost active, but let's see how far we can push them. And well, let's see how far we can upgrade them and see what the progression is looking like. Because to be honest, I'm actually quite happy. Like, we're now 1 month and like 12 days into the challenge. And I have to say, I'm really, really happy with my progression, which I've gotten so far. So let's get all of those upgrades going as well. Equipment-wise, we're looking really good. Magic Mirror, a couple of those glowy ores are missing. Glowy ores, I would gladly take more of those. But we have now showed the Royal Champion to worry about. I think I will concentrate on the shield and the rocket spear if we can get it eventually. Spiky ball, as I just said, is another equipment I would really like to have. But that still takes. I always will first concentrate on the infrastructure, which means builders, apprentice builder, out of this stuff. And well, this is why the video today was delayed, because I wanted to make sure that I'm giving you a fresh impression of how things look like. This is recorded right before as this video releases, and those are my hero level. To be honest, I'm quite happy about that with like 1.5 months roughly of the progression. I'm actually really happy with that, to be honest. And at this point now, we're keeping them busy. I have 1 builder potion left. As well, there's more builder potions in the free-to-play track now, with the 2 tracks, like 2 tiers added from Supercell, and Stereo Ore as well. I mean, that's going to be a great month for sure, progression-wise. I'm looking really forward to get those 2 builder potions. And then as soon as we have, like, always when I have all 4 heroes under construction, I will always use the builder potion. That will be the system for me. Like, whenever I have all 4 under construction, I will use the builder potion. Since I still take some time for the 6th builder in general, you can see my progression here in the builder base currently. I won't save any builder potions, I think. We just use it currently whenever we can. And the only important thing is that I have enough Dark Elixir to keep my builders busy on those heroes. That's like the important thing. Otherwise, that's pretty much it, to be honest, for this video. Let me know if you feel like the loot system change was good, was bad. But I feel like it really, like, in some way broke Clash of Clans, but I think in a positive way, to be honest, because I think it's now better that you're getting rewarded for attacking active players as well, which was not really the case earlier, and you're getting rewarded being as well in higher trophy ranges, because I would highly suggest anyone to farm in higher trophy ranges because of the ores and the loot being there now equally good as like down there in Crystal or anything. So yeah, in my opinion, really good changes. Let me know what you think about them, if you think they were great or not. As I said, treasure hunt event is sadly delayed because of all of those bugs, but don't worry, the overall length will pretty much stay the same, so you don't have to miss out on any chests or whatever. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Until then, let's hope that Supercell can fix everything as quickly as possible. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next Clash video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.